Welcome to Leading with Joy, a series where we are exploring what it really looks like to live, lead, and facilitate with joy. Today, I'm with Karla Rice, just one of my faves, the OG joy warrior, and I can't wait to dive more fully into her journey and what joy is looking like and joy leadership is looking like in her life right now. I think it will be very inspiring for many of you. So, Karla, do you want to just start us off by just sharing who you are and a little bit about
Mm,
who you are, what you do, your jam?
my jam. Okay, well, I am a mom of four now, and try not to use the word busy, but yeah, life is full heart doing that thing. I live on an acreage, 10 acres next to my parents. So that is always fun. So I've got a lot of community right near me. This is great. And yeah, married for it'll be 14 years in the fall. So that's
Ooh,
my little family. Well, we have goats and we have dogs and we have horses. There's a lot actually.
joy.
A joy. It is joy. It is so much joy. Yeah. And then as far as professional life, well, I used to be an RN and I've actually recently been missing that just to be of service, to be of more service outside of the home. But as Jillian has kindly reminded me a lot, is the service that I'm doing in my home is of utmost importance. So I'm actually really leaning into that. But I'm also a holistic nutritionist, meditation teacher, joy facilitator, and I honestly just do all those things on the daily. No, I don't get paid. I don't get paid monetary, but I get paid in currency. I know the smiles and the big heart from helping coach in the community to my children. So yeah, as you just said to me earlier, I am very wealthy. I feel exploding with wealth, actually. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I love that, Karla. And I think there's so much for us to touch on here for those listening who might feel like because they aren't doing the thing or bringing an income that it's not in some way as valuable or as successful. And I'd really like to redefine what sustainable success, success actually truly means. I was sharing with Karla right before we jumped on. A friend of mine just lost her brother really suddenly. And, I've experienced a lot of loss in my life. This is something we all experience in the human realm, but it's that reminder of what really matters. And I think it's very easy to get pulled out of, our alignment for this belief that more is better, like more, or that we need to be doing something other than what we're currently doing, or that it needs to be different or whatever it is. And to me, it's this recommitment to knowing that success is actually really simple for me. It's being able to wake up in the morning and love the things on my plate and, be able to spend time with people I love and do things that fill me up and enjoy nature and the simplicities of life and the magical middles, which is hard to do when you're so full and so busy or believing that it's something else other than what your current experience is. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I love talking with you and sharing more about you because you are in such active joy leadership. And I know that sometimes again, it's that belief it's got to look different than it is. But Karla is an absolute joy beam. Like she is her mothering, her nurturing energy of not only her family, but her community and her people it's beyond. And she's got such a way with the way she leads her life through the gut health, through the kitchen, through the home, through the hearts, through the belly, all of it. It is just like it feels so real to me. It feels like what we could all get back to. And
True.
I really feel like, while sometimes you might doubt your path, I feel like you have your finger on the pulse of true richness and true success. So,
Mm.
yeah.
For the first time probably ever you've spoken about me to me, in coaching and all the things you've shared, I think I finally when you say those things, it feels true. Like I don't have "Oh, no, like, no, that's not me," and it actually does because there's a level, like you say, of embodiment that I'm at just in the realness of it all. There's no you can't fake this shit,
You
and
can't fix the
you
shit.
can't, right? So talk about gut health. You've taken my program years ago, but that's the first instinct right here, and I've been able to use that as like a compass. Ooh, I don't like going and reaching and doing that. Is that going to bring me more joy or less joy? And there's some things like you have to just push through. There are just sometimes, but if you're continually doing that to chase more, to want more, I just had this conversation with my husband. I mean, maybe I should go back to, corporate, not corporate, what's the word? Like outside of the home work to actually make a living. But I was like, how is that gonna affect our life, our children? Me being outside of the home, I wouldn't be as dedicated to all their not just their needs, but how I want to leave a legacy, how I want them to remember their childhood. I'm going through this for the first time too, though. I got to remember this as moms. But I'm, a 38-year-old with 4 kids. I don't always know what I'm doing, but if I'm being pulled out of my home, whereas that's my value, am I going to experience more joy? Sure, I might have more money, but I don't know that's what it's always about. And in this day and age, we have to be careful with our money because it's like so valuable, but so is our time, so is our energy, right?
Yeah. Your energy, your
So,
time, your life force, your vibrancy, and I think it's the things that truly matter. Like, these are big questions. I feel like this is I have a dog, so I don't have to go through these questions, like, these struggles in this way, but I feel very compassionate toward moms who and families who do need to make these considerations, and I would always just be guiding back to what does alignment look and feel like for you? Back to the joy-based values, back to the joy meter, like what
mhm,
truly matters to you. And at the end of the day, what will feel most successful? And I
mhm,
think, and I think also there's no wrong answers. It's even truly, if you made any decision and felt that it wasn't right in the moment, you could make another decision.
mhm,
It's this idea that these decisions are so final.
mhm,
I feel like what I'm hearing is a lot of different things, and it's probably also this desire to connect with others, maybe more adults. It's also to use your other aspects of your wisdom.
mhm.
You are a very powerful facilitator, an amazing nurse. Like, I can't imagine being in hospital and having you as my nurse. That would be like such a win. For anyone who would get to have, like, that level of access to you as this beautiful, like, nurturing woman. But, yeah, I just think we really can't go wrong, and the idea that
Mm-mm,
there's a right or wrong kinda can keep
mm-mm,
us stuck, It's more like what is in the best and highest alignment, and I would always come back to in alignment with in the Joy Facilitator program and the Joy Nest and all my coaching, we do joy-based values, which is
mhm.
not just, like, what matters, but how you most want to feel as well, and what you most wanna experience in this lifetime.
Yeah, your why all the time, right? All the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
I that it's 100%. And your joy-based values for the most part, I've done them so many times, you've done them, I'm sure. They kind of come back to the same ones, right? I don't for me, I just did a meditation right before and hopping on, and the thing that came powerful through is like, just how are you a living light? Any what you do, just being a living light. And I was like, what does that mean, universe, God? Like, what is living light? Like, okay, we could be a light, but living. And I think that's what it is, your lifestyle. And my friend come over the other day, which I don't have adult friends come over to my house very often because life is full. But she said that to me, literally what you just said. You live your life according to like she said, your lifestyle, your kitchen. And I'm like, how do you know that? You don't, but it must be just through the small interactions because if you aren't living in your truth, that the vibe gives off, right? Or through my children, even because her kids go to school with my kids. So something must be flowing through in my energy field. Like, talk about energy, a currency, is that the vibe I give off, for lack of better words, right? And I'm like, and it helps to validate it, right? For me. And I'm like, I am a living light. I am living in a way that is truth for me, that is according to my values. And as soon as you're not, your life shows you, right? With whether it's through gut health and how you're feeling and all the things, right?
I told Carla I literally broke out in a full body rash last week when I was at an event, and I just have to my body's like, "Girl, you need to take gluten seriously. Like, you can no longer disregard this. I know I have a sensitivity to it. It pretty much makes me narcoleptic and it does impact my gut health, but it hasn't been like enough suffering to make me stop fully. And when I go away or when it's someone else's events or it's just like you just want to be easy about it. And I just
Mhm.
wanted to be easy about it, and also I love bread. Anyway, so I tried to just be easy about it, and it like really took me out energetically and, again, full body rash and I just was not doing well last week, and it really forced me to look at what's going on for me. And I think it's another level for me of the ability to see where I need to simplify more fully in my life and just rein it
Mhm.
in, and really look at what is serving and what is not. And we get those opportunities through contrast to see what is actually working, based on what's feeling good. Yeah.
Gut health is like a perfect example in metaphorically speaking in your living your life. Everything is like fixable. You can repair the lining of your gut if it's telling you it's screaming. Gluten is not your friend right now. So you spend time repairing that. You're repairing the things that are leaky in your life, the energetic leaks in your gut lining. It's all the same thing. So you clean that up and you remove it for a bit. Doesn't mean you can never have freaking bread again. Doesn't mean you can't do the things, but it's just like teaching us where things aren't in alignment, right? For us, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the things, right? So I think as moms, that's really easy. We like literally eat the breadcrumbs left off the plate sometimes because we're on a go and we don't think about like it's the kids first, it's the kids first. And yes, while we love to preach, with that oxygen mask on first and then your kids, sometimes in the moment it's not how it works. Like it's great to say that, but you literally get depleted as a mom so easily, right? So yeah, paying
Yeah,
attention
I
to all
can't. I
those.
literally can't imagine. You are a freaking angel. Okay, let's dive into, um, yeah, I would love to know just a little bit, like, let's talk about Joy Facilitator if you can remember way back when. Actually, it's interesting you're thinking of going back into nursing because that's actually
Hmm.
how we met, isn't it? If you just wanna
Yeah,
kinda share where you were at when you decided to step into the Joy Facilitator program.
it was October of 2021. I'm really good with dates, memory. And so, yeah, I was really struggling. The world was kind of in a crappy place with just how we viewed health and wellness, right? There was a lot of fear, and it just wasn't aligned for me being a nurse anymore. And again, my life and my family, I was a mom of three at the time, and we were newly into we built our home here on the acreage. Anyways, it just wasn't feeling right. And I met you at a little retreat that I was supposed to go with a friend, but I ended up going by myself. And I remember sitting around the fire at the end and I just bawled my eyes out to complete strangers that I obviously felt I created my own space to be brave and just show up authentically, which is what the Joy program is every time you step into that container. So I already felt that energy. Like looking back, that's what it was. That was the draw. And it led me to be continuously brave and to do things differently and to, say goodbye to nursing and to step up in a different way. And the Joy Facilitator program, hands down, changed my life. I've always had a positive mindset. I've always been connected to the universe, spiritual, all those things. But there's a groundingness in being held in that container that makes it more like, what's the word? Digested. You can actually, there's some concreteness to it, if that's a word. There's some grounding, where, yeah, it puts things into this 3D world, right? When you feel like I just feel like if you are a person who feels like you don't belong in this world, that you just feel so disconnected, this is the program for you.
Aw.
Because you just feel a part of a family and you don't know these people that come into this program with. But to this day, if I ever feel alone, which I do time, who doesn't in this world of like disconnect when we're supposed to be so connected? I seriously can think of just our Joy Facilitator program and the people who you continue to bring in the container and maybe like, no, I'm not alone. I hands down know if I could randomly call somebody, even if I haven't spoken to them, even if I haven't met them in person. These people are awesome human beings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it was great.
I love it. I love that, Carla. I love that, and I feel that in you, and I agree. Like, I think the community we have is so like, it's so hard for me to articulate the power of it, but every person I've spoken to, every facilitator I've talked to so far, it's one of the main things that they mention is the power of our community, and I think because and it's making me emotional, it's giving me Nana vibes right now. Like, remembering the energy with which I created was, like, literally through my grandmother. I wouldn't have been able to step into this work without her support and her help financially and energetically. And she was like the OG joy warrior, and her heart was so giving, and her mission was compassion. Like she had compassion for everyone. And this is one of the main pillars of the joy work is compassion. And it's to be able to meet ourselves with so much care, the way that we would a best friend. And I feel because of that, because that is so deeply embedded into the work, it's how we treat each other.
Mhm.
And so you just know you're in a room with people who, aren't judging. They're like really taking the opportunity to take full accountability for their own experiences and definitely are looking within instead of outside to see what's going wrong. It's like, how can I actually show up and shift my life from the inside out? And I think that creates a lot of like safety. While safety is something that we bring ourselves, I feel like this community is one where people do typically feel held and supported and seen and heard because you're surrounded by people who've walked the path that is not an easy
Mhm.
path. Like it's joy, but it is, as I've been sharing more fully, joy work is actually shadow work.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a level of where you get to meet yourself where you need to be and still feel like you belong and you're not gonna be judged for it. Yeah, you walk away, I don't know, you walk away being your best friend, but because you have this community, right? I mean, it's great to love yourself 100%, like that's needed, but it's a whole hell of a lot easier when you have people cheering you on, which that's what it is. It feels like you have a cheerleading squad. I'm a super big sport. Like I grew up playing sports. The Joy Facilitator program was like the best sports team you can be on.
Even though we're not really that sporty,
Yeah.
but maybe we should be. Maybe we should like, I don't know, enter some sort of competition.
Uh huh. Yeah. Because
I'm like, pickleball.
gosh, yes, it's it's great. It's so great.
We should have a
Yeah.
baseball team. Could you imagine how fun that
Oh
would
yeah.
be?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Carla. You'll be the captain for sure.
It's your
Was there anything that felt like it was stopping you? Was there any resistance
woo!
to the program when you stepped in? Do you remember that?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, financially, I for sure held back. Because as a mom, you don't spend money on yourself. You spend money on the investment of your home, your children. I can spend thousands of dollars, and my kids have if it, whatever that they can go very many different avenues. If it's investing in healthy food or planting a garden, whatever. But then if it's solely for you, but this is the kicker. Of course, you don't realize that you're doing it for you, but because you're doing it for you, you're doing it for everybody else, right?
Yeah.
The angle, I'm gonna share something, because I'm gonna get emotional, but you know, coaching. So I'm coaching a U12 volleyball club volleyball team this year, and it's coming to an end. And we did a team building session yesterday where everybody wrote their name, they decorated this piece of paper, and then they passed their paper along with it, in a circle, and everyone got to write whatever they wanted about that person's name, like that person on their paper. And we went around all 12, so everybody got their paper back. And this is my daughter's here. I brought it in actually, not knowing if I'd share, but so there are 12 little or 11 messages. And while she's a great athlete, she's very athletic. She's probably the, top six for sure on the team, let's just say. But not one of her well, I think there was one little comment, but all the other comments was, Ella, you're always positive. You include everybody. You always make sure everyone belongs. Like all these beautiful things about her as a person, not her as the skills on the volleyball court. Like one of them right here was, you always have the best mindset and you always encourage everyone. You are so supportive. You include people. You're so kind and sweet to everybody you know. And I'm just like, that's joy. That's joy. That's the leadership that I do in my home. It's transferable then when my daughter goes on the court and she makes her teammates feel like they belong. Now, how the hell do you think that improves their skills? Like, do you think they're more scared or less scared to do the things on the court? Well, hands down, if they feel like they belong somewhere, you're gonna do something. You're not gonna be so scared of being judged, right? And so
Yes.
I just think that's my work. That's not me as a coach necessarily, yes, sure, but that's through my home, my daughter stepping on that court and for her to be a leader, for her to make sure she's always scanning and making sure people are included. I see it. I see it because that's important to me, right? And in my
Wow.
leadership. So for
Yeah.
me, I was scared to invest in myself for fear of taking money away from my home and my children and the family. But that's just backwards. It's 100% backwards because I invested in me, I get to be a living light in my home, and therefore it's transferable to the kids, to the community, to everybody. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not often speechless. That was really beautiful.
It is. Like
Yeah, I think
it's you are doing powerful work, and I know it's never about you, Jillian, you always say that, but you also have to take this recognition. You are doing powerful work. I'm an incredible mother, but you're an incredible human being that I am so grateful for you every single day. I really am. And then for us to continue to do the work in whichever way that looks like you said, it's so powerful.
it's daily.
Yeah.
Thank you. Feel it. I'm really feeling it for sure. I feel like these interviews have definitely like allowed me to see and feel a different level of the impact that I don't really feel. Like I do what I do. I think it is like I'm a freaking joy mom, because I don't think about it. I
Yeah.
really don't think about it. And it really doesn't feel like it's about me. It feels like it's about, the collective good and what we're doing all together. And it's like just so inspiring and so natural to me. It is an absolute joy to get to do this work. I feel like I've won the lotto every single day.
Mhm. Mhm.
Until I take myself out with the to-dos and the thinking I have to do more, or that, like I was sharing with Carla, sometimes the mission feels like it pulls me out of alignment because it's so big and I can feel the expansion of this in the world. And I think sometimes my ego is like, oh, I have to make this happen. But it's actually just me showing up in my fullness and serving from overflow that allows for that ripple to happen. And it's not through me. It's literally like I show up and share, and then it's actually through all of you. So yeah, I think this energy and energetic of legacy, and even you sharing about Ella and how like that is your legacy. Like for her to be in her joy leadership now, how incredible is that? Yeah. It's even hard, I think, for me to even talk about like the program and like make it so tangible because it feels so energetic. It feels so soulful. And this conversation shows me why it's hard to articulate, like why someone should join this program. I'm realizing more and more, I don't have to worry about that. I think that it's truly a soul calling, and it's being like people are coming because they're feeling that call. It's not because I'm saying the right things or doing the right things. And this is also, I think, around marketing for anyone who feels like it's such a slag or you hate it or you have to push. Like, I don't think the pushing and forcing is actually what's working. I feel like the energy that we're sharing with actually is what people feel. And so if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And these interviews are a way for me to try a new way because I was starting to feel, I think with, AI and just all the noise in the world and online, it doesn't feel like it's as like soulful to me. Like it doesn't, but I've had this experience before during COVID,
Mhm.
and I created Soulful
Mhm.
Social Media where I was like, just make it a ritual, show up and share because the world does need our light. And so even for me, it's like, I'm not going to, yeah, you were in that. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. And that
Mhm.
was like, again, back to if it doesn't feel good, it's not that we're going to stop showing up because the world needs us. I'm going to do it in a way that feels better and like it aligns. And so this has been really like a fun way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
100%.
we
I
get
feel
to
it.
like reinvigorate you,
Yes.
and people get to see what you're up to. And also like, do you have anything that you are ready to or thinking about offering publicly?
I think I always am, and then my excuse is always when I'm gonna find the time, and I really sat with this actually this this last few days, and it's coming. I know it's coming. I'm not gonna force it. I'm in a very, like, the path is very wide right now, everything that I'm holding for my, like, kids, the sports and just our lives right now, and, that I am facilitating in the ways that I need to right now and that are really important. I still wanna do, like, my bread shop, flower shop. I started some things, I got some things in the works because truly nourishing people when they are at their most vulnerable highs and lows, birth, losing somebody, that's my nursing group. I was there physically with people, crossing over and all the things, and it's gonna be there. I don't know how it's all supposed to look like. I don't I'm a little there's some fear, so I wanna, like, detach from that and just go there. So I don't know when that's happening, but it will happen for sure.
And I also know, like, I had and I've reached out to you and shared this, but part of being in the facilitator program, and particularly the professional membership that continues on after for people who are actively in the work, is like those recommendations. And and now it's so awesome because like people are literally reaching out, like, who can you connect me with for this? And do you have a facilitator for this? And I was on a call with a coaching client who I just know needs your medicine and kind of hooked you up. So I feel called to ask without pressure, like, are you open to doing one-on-ones for the right people who feel called to you, in a containers that are private and kind of custom?
Yes, because I also used to do it where there was the formality from my nutrition school and, we answer all these questions, and now I am so confident in that it's so much more than these X, Y, symptoms that it doesn't have to be so stressful for me or the client. While I did great work, I think I want to come at it from a different angle. Sometimes they just need to share with you, and you just need to say, "Hey, you're amazing. I want you to do 1, 2, 3, not 1 through 10, and then we're gonna check in, right?" Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because because I stepped away from 101 because the noise. It was like saying, "Do this. No, don't eat this." And I was like, "Ew, like, why is there so much restriction? Like, how about let's
Yeah.
live life? And how do I listen to you? And then how do I take that in and say, hey, I see it, zoom out. I see this was what's going on. Is that what you think?" And working together, which is what our medical system doesn't do, right? They just take your symptoms and say, slap this onto you, which is why we need to merge. We need to merge. Hey, this is, we see this blood work, we see this going on, but I also see this in your life and I'm hearing this from you. What does that mean? Right? You know?
Yeah. Joy as joy facilitation through the gut.
Through the gut, exactly, which is there's so much value there. There's so much value, and there's none of this, "We as the experts know more than you about your body." You have the wisdom. You sometimes you just need, facilitation in pulling that out, right? So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I love facilitation. Like, I love it because it gives the power to the person, you know? It's really recognizing all of us as self-healers who hold the wisdom, and then it's just a matter of, like, facilitating it back to joy. Okay, was there anything about program that was shocking for you, like, that felt like, "Oh, I didn't expect this, but I'm glad it's here?" I just heard like, "Yeah, probably a lot."
Yeah, I don't think I had it in me. I don't think that I thought how do I say this? Like, I remember you pushed in a good way, like, "No, you're doing this. You've got it." And I'm like, "No, I don't." The confidence that you like, I mean, confidence is such a thing that you just are, constantly growing every day, building, more self I think anyways, for and it dips sometimes, but the push and the drive, the support, oh my goodness, the support was insane. I didn't think there was that kind of level for sure. It was so, so,
Mm,
so great. Yeah. I'm not sure if I answered
I
your
love
question
that.
really, but yeah.
No, you did. I think it's important for people to know that you don't have to be confident to join, this
Mm,
program or anything. Like, I feel, when we talk about this in program, that confidence is something that you get and then you don't need it anymore. Like by the time you have it, you don't need it anymore. So really what we just require is courage. But I think that it is the program and the structure and the knowledge and like to have a guide. I think especially this last round, people are just sharing how powerful the tools, the templates, the guides, like having the structure there for which their wisdom can flow through, blended with joy,
mhm,
is what
mhm.
provides a lot of confidence for them because otherwise it feels like you're grasping at straws or you just don't know what to do. You know you're here to guide, but you're not sure how.
Yes, your structure and framework was insane actually, because I literally could take all of my knowledge that I had when I could pull from this angle and create a joy facilitator session. Like I don't think you realize that you going to the program, that's what you take your wisdom, your beauty, all the things that are you, whatever you want to teach, share, whatever in the world, and you have a template. Here it is. You get to just plunk your knowledge in and your experience and who you are and what people need. You don't know that when you're going into the program. I thought I'm going to take Jillian's amazingness and I'm going to kind of make it my own a little bit, but basically just like regurgitate your information, which is not at
Yeah.
all what it is, right?
No,
At
it's not.
nothing like that. And so that is beautiful because whenever I freaking can get some time where I love to sit down and yeah, take your template, take your framework and go plunk in my stuff and be like, here you go. It is pretty easy that way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the point, and that's, like, this fun part, and thank you for sharing that because that's another piece that I need to share is you get to be all of you. We're not creating, people just like me, like, we're actually
Mm-mm.
this is meant to support you, and that this is why it's so soulful, is this is meant to support the ones who feel called to share their light, their magic, their medicine in the world in their way through the joy structure and formula, but not the way that anyone else does it, and this is why we could have thousands of joy facilitators. Like, there could be thousands, we're just speaking a similar language, but everyone is doing it differently,
Yes.
and in their own fields and in their own ways. So thank you for sharing that. I think the last thing I'd love to know is what would you say to someone like who do you think is cut out for the program? Like, who do you think would be well suited for the program? And then what would you say to them if they're on the fence about it?
I don't think that there's somebody that's not. I think I who wouldn't benefit from this? I guess somebody who doesn't want more joy in their life, doesn't want to have like somebody
Laughing.
who I don't know, like who doesn't want more not more like materialistic, more out of how do you take the lessons and learn and opportunities for growth. Like we go through all these angles in life, which is all about relationships and hardships and the celebrations, like all of it. Who doesn't want to navigate that and pull the joy? It's literally what we're doing. It's like we have life is like a saturated sponge and we can have all of that joy. Like we can just wring it out and then like, oh my gosh, we're dry. Shoot, I don't know what to do. And then we're like gonna pump that, sponge back up and wring out all the joy. Like that's who doesn't want that? Who doesn't freaking want that? That's what I wanted. That's what I want. I mean, I'm like that with health. It's like, but then it got obsessively engrossed and not in a healthy way, right? And the joy facilitation program helped me with that to loosen up the reins, so to speak, and then take the reins. You get to be in charge of your own life and how much joy you want to suck out. So and to the person, yeah, to the person who's on the fence, it's like this is a sponge. You can have this much joy. Do you want to squeeze every last drop? Then if that is a hell yes, then you should be in the program. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where that came out of, but
I love it. What a good analogy. The joy sponge.
yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. I could just yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to do the work. Like there is no you don't get to just like go on the magic carpet ride and just not do any like, you have to do the work and you have to show up and you have to be. But if you're willing to do that, then hop on the carpet ride.
Up on the joyride. Here we go.
Yeah.
Choo choo.
Yeah.
Well, Carla, I just want to say thank you for being you. I just adore you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful we met and that you are part of our Joy Leadership community. And I love the way in which you light up the world. You are absolutely a living light. And we'll definitely hook up she's Karla Rice everywhere. And what is your website in case people want to just have a look at what you're up to and for when you're ready to do more?
Yeah. KarlaRiceWellness.com. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's me.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep an eye on you.
Mhm.
Okay, and for anyone who is interested in facilitating with joy, leading with joy in your life, in your relationships, in your work, definitely check us out at the academyofjoyfulliving.com. And if you feel the call, the invitation is to trust it and reach out and let's hop on a call and see what those possibilities are. Thank you for being with us today. And thank you, Carla. So much love.
Thank you.